Cleveland Browns coming off another high-scoring loss, just their second of the season. And, boy, Odell Beckham Jr. just didn't see many targets in that game. 2 catches on 3 targets, despite the Browns going for 40-plus points. Odell spoke today after his head coach Kevin Stefanski had this to say yesterday.
Again, I kind of look at each game and what do we have to do to win? You know, what do we need to do to go score a bunch of points? As I've mentioned before, he's a dynamic football player. He's very front of mind when we're game planning, when we're calling plays. Sometimes the defense dictates that the ball goes elsewhere, and we're comfortable with that because we have good players elsewhere.
I mean, I can't sit there and lie like I don't want the ball. Like I tell you, every time I get up here, they don't pay James Harden for defense. You know what I mean? He's a shooter. Like I feel like I'm a shooter, you know. But as I get down in the red zone and I'm running a corner route and 3 people come with me and he's wide open, like I know that, you know, that happens. I know that I bring a lot of attention to defenses on the other end, and other people are going to be open, and you know, you just got to live with that.
All right, and the Browns playing the 5-0 Cardinals this week. Josina Anderson joins us here. Josina, what are you hearing about how the Browns are feeling about all this?
Well, first of all, you heard from Odell Beckham Jr. admitting that he does want the ball, but at the same time, Chris, I think we can hear him trying to be diplomatic, which is what he should do because he is trying to obviously evoke, and he is a team player. At the same time, from the Brown sources that I talked to, you can hear a little bit of frustration with them wanting to get Odell Beckham Jr. involved more, and also feeling like Baker Mayfield should do a better job of getting the ball to him when he is open. Let's take a look at Odell Beckham Jr. in the last 3 games. You can see right now against the Bears, he was 5 for 77 on 9 targets on the field for 63% of the snaps. At Minnesota, he was 2 for 27 on 7 targets on the field for 80% of the snaps. And against the Chargers, 2 for 20, but just 3 targets on the field for 79% of the snaps. So that's a lot of running with the ball not coming your way. But let's also take a look at this play because to Baker Mayfield's credit, he is completing the ball to other players on plays that Odell Beckham Jr. is on the field. For example, here's a great look at this when he does complete the 72-yard touchdown pass to David Njoku, but a Brown source said on that play, Odell was actually the first read and the ball should have gone to him, and really just kind of underlining that there is no excuse with that. You're taking another look at that play here. You see Odell at the top. Now, it looks like he's not open if you're looking at the defender and relative to the outside, but Odell also felt like he had the space to the inside to go ahead and make that play. But the source also admitting that, you know, at times that Baker Mayfield has gotten the ball to the other players on the field, but the source also underlining that when Odell Beckham Jr. is the first read, it needs to go to him, Chris.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been a touchdown, either one of those plays, but it seemed like the better throw, the easier throw, probably would have been to Odell Beckham Jr. if he could have let him just a little bit more. What part of this, though, is on Odell, seeing those 2 receptions each of the last 2 games?
Well, the source also did talk about a significant drop that Odell Beckham Jr. had in the game against the Chargers. It was the second quarter, 8:16 remaining. It was 4th and 2nd. Looking at the play right here. And, you know, they elected actually not to go for the field goal on that play. So they needed that conversion, didn't get it. And so that stalled the offense. Now, consequently, that was Odell's only drop of the game. And matter of fact, it was his only drop of the season. So that is also something that the source is pointing out. All in all, Chris, what I'm hearing is that they are pointing out these progression read misses to Baker Mayfield in the meetings, and that he's accepting it in stride. But at the same time, what a big opportunity with them having the 5-0 Cardinals at home for Odell to have a big game, for Baker to have a big game, and for both of them to kind of put this disconnection behind them.
Yeah, last perfect team in the league coming to Cleveland this week. The Browns slight 2.5-point favorites in that game. Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.